Hello again, everyone. Secret history, aquarium, in it, you know the routine. So, what I'm showing you guys here is these are 2-month-old Plecos. Bristlenose and citrus to be precise. And this is some black water. I mean, we have lots of leaves in here, some cholla wood, and the crazy thing about these guys is I've never had them grow this fast before. Never. So if you take a look at the average size in here of one of these catfish at this young age, it actually lengthwise it will. Let's see if we can get one to calm down a bit. The majority of them are from the very tippy tip of their tail across. They're as wide as this net. So they're about half a centimeter shorter than this net. And they're only 2 months old. So the same exact fish and there's about 40 of them in here in a 10-gallon. And it was just a temporary housing thing, and then all of a sudden I realized they were growing like monsters. Up here, check it out, 40 gallons, lots of room to play. This thing's not even a third of the way the length of the net. And they've got all this room. I mean, there's other fish around and stuff. They're getting fed plenty. There's little shrimp. There's stuff for them to eat. There's baby shrimp. There's the food that I feed them. There's wood. So I don't know what's going on with that. Very, 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 very bizarre. And then over here in the shrimp tank, the blue shrimp tank, it's also got algae eaters and stuff like that in there. I should say algae eating shrimp, and it's got a bunch of rainbow pseudomagil luminatus, and then it's also got some Honduran red point convict cichlids. And so the red points are getting to the size now, little bumblebee butterballs, that they should probably be moved soon, and this can go back to being a shrimp tank, as it were, a actual shrimp tank. Now the shrimp seem to be doing okay. I haven't been culling them super tough, so I need to get back on that. I was gone for a while and just didn't do it before I left either, so I do still see young shrimp scurrying around, so that's always a good sign. I don't see any newborn shrimp, which is what I'd like to see. I like to see those guys feeding places. But I am seeing shrimp that are probably a month or two old, just nothing newer than that. And I don't know if they're hiding or if they got eaten. But the next thing I have, the next order of business is in here, we have all the mid-size badis. So we had about 4 that grew up to adult size. And these were in here in January. So in January, I took the parents out, the male and female. And now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the, I guess, mid-size. They're very slow growers. Can't tell the gender on most of them yet. A couple you can tell they're going to be males because they've just got such strong stripes. But now the question becomes, do I put them up with the big bad boys? I mean, guppies are really the worst of what they would have coming here, up in either of these tanks. Or do I put them up in the shrimp tank at the very top? Or do I leave them down here in this shrimp tank? It's kind of hard. They're definitely micro predators, and they're definitely going to eat baby newborn shrimp if they see them. So that one's kind of hard to figure, and they're definitely going to disappear and never be seen again as far as trying to catch them if I let them out into any of these bigger tanks. So there is the option to put them in the glass tank here. Everything needs to be moved, cleaned up, build a shelf for it, or use this shelf. It's a big old mess. Um, but I gotta figure out what to do with these guys. And I think up here I want to leave it just shrimp again, so I can throw 2 random species of fish in there and pull them out after a week or 2, and they'll have eggs, and then the shrimp will have them. Now, if you have even a micro predator like these little guys, that is the difference between getting babies and no babies in your harvest. So it's kind of a tough call. And in here, oftentimes people will say that they can't find the female badis at the pet stores. Well, in here, it's definitely going to be a 50-50 mix or so. Just happens to be how this brood is going to be. Look at the different colors of the different green dragons, by the way. Some are like a creamy green, some are a dark green, one's like a dark gray. They really vary quite a bit. These guys are like black almost, they're so dark. The middle guy right here, he's kind of your typical. And then look at this big daddy coming out. He is the cock of the walk. He is the big rooster with the ginormous onodontodes and flying fins. And then there's a few more up in here hanging out. And there's shrimp in there. So, what do I do, guys? Where do I put them? I think I'm going to put them in here for now. And we'll see how that goes. I'm going to be really, really bummed if the water conditions are just not good for them or something. Because, it's just... We'll see how it goes. But they really did like the kind of tannic water that was dirty. This water is chemically similar, but not. Their surroundings are quite different, and there's some mold growing in here. Not bad mold, just aquarium mulm and stuff like that. That is kind of like a wood mold type stuff, as we call it here, water rot, and hopefully that doesn't impact them too much. I'll check on them tomorrow. If there's any health issues, then we'll pull the plug on that experiment, and I'll just let them hang out where they were. Other than that, though, everybody's doing really well. We got the little Corydoras here that there's just so many of. Like, it looks like the gravel is made out of panda Corydoras. There's just so freaking many of them. And the bettas, they're breeding still. We need to get this tank a lot denser with plants again. So more planting in here, get these to grow up. They will. And then just kind of checking stuff out. Although all my fish seem to think that my tissue culture, me boldi plant, is the most tasty thing that they've ever found, as well as my Rotala pearl, which is growing ever so slowly. This tank has CO2, but I think I really need to be doing a reactor on it and up the current, just because of all the danios in here and stuff. I think they would really benefit from upping that current a bit. So, c'est la vie, that's how that's going right now. And other than that, the endlers, they're doing their thing. They're always fine. Sometimes they have some disease that wipes through and, gets a couple of them. I hate to say it like that, but it does. And then they're back to normal again. They seem to rebound with the numbers I have. A while back we were worried so much, and people were commenting on, oh, you have 200 billion babies. Well, Mom, Dad took care of the teeny tiny babies when there were too many. And they actually, in the end, it's a little sad to think about, but they picked the best ones, so to speak. And, survival of the fittest, according to Mommy and Daddy, Also, there's a snail issue in here, so I might rent a puffer. I might go get the pea puffers from upstairs. Just got a couple new ones and put them down here. Now, the biggest thing that I got to figure out coming up next, other than cleaning up this room and getting it all tidied, which I'm way behind on, is to figure out where in the heck all the new angelfish fry are going to go. So, you guys haven't seen this yet, but surprise, if you look at the live stream from the other night, you can actually see that the leaf was covered, and I was saying, wow, they've kind of colored up almost as if they were spawning, but not quite. Well, they were spawning. This tank also, it's just cloudy, so there's some sort of like bloom in here of bacteria, probably so I've been feeding them live baby brine shrimp, which is totally fine, no big deal, but they have a lot of salt on them even if you strain it, and it can just fiddle with the TDS and the pH. Plants and everything are doing fine. The fish all look healthy, so I'm not too worried about it. This me boldi that I'm growing out here, I think it's orange. I don't know, I got obsessed with Lagonandra me boldis, and this one's a pink one here, and then I think this leaf here is an orange one. There's two next to each other. And then I've got a European pink, which is actually different than the American pink, but it has not had any good lighting on it or nutrients or anything, so it's suffering right now from whatever neglect. Basically, you can see how red, bronze, pink, it's hard for you guys to see the pink, but there's actually these pink streaks here, and it's got kind of a sparkle on it, almost like you see on the Bucephalandra over here. Hey, look who's in the picture. So this handsome fella here, I'm gonna call him Riptor, because why not? Sounds like a manly name, Riptor. And his gal, Uma, she's missing a fin. I thought she was a male, actually. They don't have the traditional head divot so much that some female angelfish do, which is kind of odd, but they're not at their full growth yet. So, I'll cut them some slack on it. But check out what they laid while we were busy chatting during the live stream. So, she laid this entire leaf was covered. She did kind of get spooked, and I don't know if she ate it or someone else ate it, but I saw her eat a few at least, and she reorganized a few and then definitely ate a few just while watching her. But on this Cophifolia here, she just decided that it needed to be reorganized, I guess. Now, over here, I had the foresight to think that this is the first time that their parents, cichlids, yeah, they're great parents generally, but not always the first time. Sometimes they get stressed, like I said, and they eat their eggs. So these eggs will hatch within about 72 hours of when they're laid. In here, we have brand new angelfish eggs as well. Hopefully they're all fertilized. I see definitely one that looks to be developing quickly. You can actually see the eye in there. Whereas the white ones, that means that something is not going right and that those eggs have a fungus in them or some sort of funky issue. And so you can see over here that even though earlier in the day there were a couple in there, the mother carefully selects, or the father, but they carefully select any issues that are going on, get rid of them, eat them, reabsorb those vitamins, minerals, protein, and then they fan the nest with their fins, so just gently. And then also what's going on here is we've got the adult angelfish actually in their slime coat. The fish are kind of slimy. I wish I had a nicer name, like their exterior autoimmune system or something along those lines, or mucosal membrane, but slime coat. they actually have a lot of probiotics and enzymes and things like that in there that will be passed on onto the exterior of those eggs. You see those fish coming in close like that? She will kill them. She's already killed 2 tonight. And yeah, no joking around. He and she, actually, I don't know which is which. I think this is the she, though, at the moment. The he is never far. They kind of take turns guarding real close, and they chase everyone off, including the odd man out, who is over here. Surprisingly, he's got both of his fins, whereas she does not. So that's odd to me. She's missing one of her little whisker fins down. Not the. I need to learn what they're called, but the little trailing fins down below her lateral stabilizing fins. Maybe I don't know what they're called in angelfish. I haven't bred angelfish since I was maybe 13, so I feel bad that I don't know, but I remember some of the stuff, and it's just been kind of fun to watch it again. I wasn't really intending to breed them right away, but we have had a crazy heat spike, and despite the thermometer on the tank doing its thing fine, it got to 86 degrees today, and the last few days up from in the 60s or low 70s, and I think between that and me going away and this much water evaporating out and me filling it back up with RO water, I think that is what actually sparked them to spawn. That, and obviously they wanted to put a show on for the YouTube community. So that is kind of the newborn stuff going on in here. Also, I'm going to try to get out the short fin focus. The short fin ancestress, the L144As, that have their blue eye or silver eye, but they have short fins. They're real nice looking, real stout, healthy looking guys. Whereas the longer fin ones, they're, I don't know, iffy on how robust they are, but they're all the same age, same size, and I think that I'll probably just leave the whimsical long fin ones in here and do some shuffling downstairs yet again. Also, can we see any of them? No. We have the leopard frog plecos, Peclotia, instead of ancestress. No Bristlenose. The male actually has a little bit of, like, I don't know what you'd call it, goose skin. I guess it looks like a mix between a turkey neck and like goosebumps that you get on your skin, or a plucked chicken. And he's got a little bit of that kind of behind his throat and gill area. Also, these cribs, they're way too old to be in here. Time to come out. They've still got a few months until they're adults and pairing off completely. But, and their growth, I think, is just stunted from being in here. But that definitely needs to happen. And then also the pea puffers that are in here. We're down to the gruesome twosome in here. Picked them up at Aquarium Co-op, and they always have the best quality Indian pea puffers, aka dwarf puffers, pygmy puffers. I like pygmy puffers. They always, or pygmy pea puffers, they always look nice there, and they've always been treated for the gut issues that are notorious for killing all your little puffer fish. So yeah, that is the state of the state of the union at the moment. It's a happy little union, just trying to get the colors back. The colors! And other than that, let me know what you guys would like to see bred next. I mean, we could breed some more of these Somfongzi Rasboras. We bred the CPDs. I really want to get these clown killies going. I need to get a new male for her since he got lost in Algae Gate 2019. I like these red racer neorites. I thought about doing a brine thing and doing a brackish tank. I don't know. They have a larval state, and it's a whole to-do. But yeah, so that's what's going on in the tanks, and I hope you guys are happy with that summary. What do you want from me, guys? What do you want from me? So, yeah. All right, guys, take care of yourselves, your tanks, the people around you, and it'll all come back around and help you, your mind, relaxation, your sense of well being. It will all be improved by simply every day taking a minute, relaxing, taking care of the organisms that you're in charge of caring for, being kind to the human organisms and animals that are in your daily life, and just following those things, even if you're having a rough time, even if everyone else is giving you a rough time, following that, just being peaceful, and you don't fight it, go with the flow, and compassion and kindness, and seeing through other people's eyes, other creatures' eyes, thinking of what they would want, how they want to be treated. That's what it's all about. Enjoy the beauty of nature that is all around us. Enjoy the magic that is putting these conditions together and making rise ecosystems. All right, guys. Take care. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you later.